Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tom Cat here. Welcome back to Spintire's MudRunner, where we are going to be talking about the latest in SnowRunner news and new reveals. Now, this is based a lot on the recent November community update, which I will link to in the description box below, where we're going to be talking about the new Alaska map and environment, as well as one of the new trucks. Now, also, as usual, leave your comments and thoughts on SnowRunner in the description box down below. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what you hope makes it into the game. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the topics of today's video. Now, the very first thing we're going to be talking about and going over is this Dan96320. Now, there was somebody on the forums that actually kind of related this to a particular real-life vehicle. I wasn't actually familiar with the real-life version of this truck, but apparently there were some people that were excited that it was in the game. Now, if you have any experience with this truck or know a little bit more about it, let me know in the comment section down below. I just think it's kind of funny that they called it the Dan, you know, like Squirrely Dan. But, you know, Letterkenny references aside, it looks like a really, really interesting truck, and it's definitely going to take on the role of a heavy. It says all-wheel drive is always on, diff lock is always on. You're dealing with a fuel capacity of 350 liters, which is not a ton in this particular category, but hopefully it'll still be able to go for quite a good ways. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about that they said in the update itself, and I quote, "Gone will be the days of ghost trucks floating over mud." And it says, "Not only will other trucks clearly affect the environment around them, we also want players to have solid tools to make playing with friends a breeze." So they really are trying to drive home the point that they are focusing a lot on ironing out the little detailed issues with multiplayer that people have been having with this franchise for quite a long time, where you'll see your truck going through the mud, you'll see your truck deforming through the terrain, but you won't see your buddy's truck deforming the terrain, and it'll have sort of a weird hovery look to it. So that's definitely something that I'm glad they're really finally focusing on and really digging into and really kind of, you know, bringing the game to the next level by tweaking that and adjusting it. But also, real quick, I wanted to touch on the fact that the mod I am using in this video, this Peterbilt dump truck mod, is actually just a Peterbilt mod that I found on the Steam Workshop. I don't actually remember who the creator is. If I remembered who the creator was, I would link it in the description below, because this thing is actually really, really cool, and I kind of anticipate a lot of people watching the video wanting this truck. So if you're looking for it, go to the Steam Workshop, type in Peterbilt, you should be able to find it. Now, let's move on to the Alaska environment. Now, ice. Ice is going to be a big deal in the Alaska map environment in SnowRunner. So, ice, obviously, as we've seen in the trailers, it's a new surface type. It's a different type of surface in the way that the game sort of manages the physics and manages the handling. Obviously, your vehicles will slip and slide and spin if you go, too crazy on ice. And they have said, though, to not worry because it is thick enough, so that kind of leads me to believe that they don't really have much of a plan for breakable ice. Now, that would be an interesting gameplay dynamic, but at the end of the day, though, I can kind of see it being a little bit restrictive, because if you wanted to get to a certain area of the map, but you couldn't because the ice would always break, I could see how that would be frustrating. But on the other side of the coin, I can also see how breakable ice might be something that people would want from a realism standpoint. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on ice. Should it be breakable? Should it not be breakable? Should it be something that we should have to worry about in terms of our trucks falling through it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. But every screenshot that they've shown of Alaska is just covered in snow, and most of it is frozen over, except for this particular shot where you see flowing water. So I'm assuming that there are going to be some areas of the map that are going to be colder than others, but they said overall this map is cold. Like, bring a thermos. It is stupid cold out here, which is obviously going to be true to life. I mean, Alaska is a cold place, but what I'm really curious about is how they're going to handle the day and night cycle, because in real life, we all know sometimes the days are drawn out over what would be, for most people, multiple days or multiple nights. You know, it'll be daylight for an extended period of time. It'll be nighttime for an extended period of time. So I wonder how they're going to bring that into the game. I wonder if that's something they are even going to approach at all with their day and night cycle. I wonder if this map will be sort of affected by that and affected by the real world representation of that sort of cycle in Alaska itself, but I'm not so sure that they would go that far. I don't know. That would be something that we will have to wait and see. That'll be something that we'll have to kind of, wait and experience, right? So they also said at launch they'll feature 3 regions: Michigan, Alaska, and Tamir. You guys already know that, and each consisting of several maps, many of them several times larger than those in MudRunner. And of course, last month they showed Michigan, and this time they're showing Alaska. So let me know which environment or region, as they call it, you're most excited to see. I think for me, Michigan is probably the one I'm most excited about. But I'm also very, very excited about Alaska because it's definitely going to be a really good representation of what the game is. I mean, the game is called SnowRunner, for God's sake. I mean, if you want to experience snow, you're definitely going to find it out here on the Alaska maps somewhere. Now, this next shot may actually be, it was a little bit concerning to me, and it may be a little bit concerning to some of you guys, and it looks like, as you can see, the mud below the snow, it looks just a little bit blobby. It looks a little bit blob-like, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't do that blobbing up on the tires thing that it didn't do. They didn't really have that problem back in the original not MudRunner, but the original spin tires, but in spin tires, but in MudRunner itself, there's this weird issue where the mud will look like blobs, and it'll sort of blob up on the tire in a very sort of unrealistic looking way. And seeing that has me a little worried about the mud, but I'm really hoping that there's nothing to worry about in the long run in terms of what the mud actually looks like. I'm hoping that it doesn't do that. I'm hoping that it doesn't blob up on the tires in this weird, like just odd looking way. I mean, if it does, it's not going to be something that's going to keep me from playing the game, not by any means whatsoever. I mean, it's a small detail, but with as in-depth as they've been going on all of these other details and updating them from MudRunner to SnowRunner, it would be interesting to see if they've, if and what they've done with the mud itself and how it deforms around tires and how it sticks to tires specifically. Now, I know that for me personally, I would love to see them do something in the future where in hardcore mode, that packed up mud would actually negatively affect your tire grip, because in real life, if you're driving out in the mud and you pack up your tires with mud, you pack up the tread with mud, you really aren't going to have all that much grip at all. You end up having to clean your tires effectively. I mean, if you drive through a creek or something, it'll wash the mud off, but keeping the mud out of your tires is sort of a bit of a real-life element, and I would love to see it affect overall vehicle grip. Right here, I know it was kind of a bit of a lost effort to do it, but as you can see, the side of my truck has been stabbed with a stick, and I was trying to drive across, scrape the side of the truck across one of those trees to get that stick off. Wasn't exactly successful, but we tried. I was very annoyed with the fact that stick was stuck to the side of the truck. And last but not least, we have this gorgeous, absolutely beautiful landscape shot showing some power lines over there on the right, a mountain on the left, snow-covered ground, snow-covered spruce trees, actually, and a road winding through the middle of it. Now, if this is a representation of what this environment and what these maps in the Alaska region are going to look like, then sign me up. 100% sign me up. I am on board. I really, really, really like the direction they're going in with this, and it almost looks like, if you can see up there on the top left corner of the screen, you can see it looks like there might be somewhat of a tower up on that mountain. I don't know if there's going to be a road that winds up there or winds, around the mountain to get there. I really hope there is. I really hope they include winding mountain roads that are covered in ice and snow. I mean, it would pose a lot of hazards, but it would also pose a lot of interesting opportunities for different types of gameplay. And that's really what you want at the end of the day, is you want creative gameplay elements, and you want creative, you want to explore a world that enables you to enjoy the game in different ways, right? I mean, the hazards we have in MudRunner are being expanded, right? Because we have snow. I want more hazards to think about. I want more hazards to worry about. And as they've already said, there's going to be ice patches on the road. I mean, we saw the little GIF of the car spinning out. I mean, that's, really, really cool that they have that. But I really hope that they have it in more than just 1 or 2 areas. So that leads me to believe that hopefully we'll have winding mountain roads with the potential to have little ice patches and ice spots, and that particular screenshot just in and of itself really solidifies to me the extent that they're going to make the snow not only a gorgeous graphical element, but also a dangerous gameplay element not to be taken lightly. And they're taking into consideration the fact that it really is that cold out there in Alaska, and I'm really excited to see what they do with all of this stuff, what they do with the game itself, and also the updates that they bring to the multiplayer side of the table. So, now that we're getting to the end of the video, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of all of those different things we discussed. Let me know if you have any thoughts of your own about what SnowRunner either is doing well or isn't doing, you know, to the way you would prefer, or if it's maybe going in, you know, if something's going in a direction you don't like, or if something's going in a direction you do like. Let me know all of your thoughts on SnowRunner in the comment section below, because when it comes out, we are going to be freaking jumping on it. We're going to be the hub for SnowRunner content. So, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed and want more, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Talk to you guys later.